Always good to see everyone. Again, make sure your phones are on mute and your cell phones are silent before we get started. Mr. Dave, you got those four phones with your cell phone to put on mute. Okay. But again, good morning to everyone. By grace, we are here. As we stated yesterday, we looked forward to seeing everyone this morning, and that has been granted to us, so we have the opportunity to do something that is good. So with that said, I am calling the meeting to order. At this time, Council, I would like to call on Reverend James Platt, the Allen Temple AME Church, to lead us with the invocation. Are you out there, Reverend Platt?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I'm here.
Okay.
And
at this time, Council, we turn it over to Reverend Platt to do our invocation.
Thank you.
Reverend Platt.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor and council members. And I have to give a special shout out to my council member, Ms. Carter Johnson. I want to thank you for inviting me and the members of Allen Temple AME Church this morning.
You're welcome.
Pray.
Amen.
Eternal and dependable creator of the universe, we acknowledge you as the giver of every good and perfect gift. You are our solid rock. You arm us with strength. Thank you for the seasons and climates, for sowing and reaping, for color and fragrance. Thank you for the time of planting when our labors and dreams are imagined. Today, O Lord, we come and ask that you bless Mayor Lowe and all of our city officials in this pandemic crisis. Illuminate their lives to keep them on the right paths. May the creative power of your word produce in them a stronger faith and an indomitable hope as they grapple with the issues of city governance. Lord, keep them from slipping. Fill them with courage as you show them your unfailing love. Eternal God, give them an attitude of openness to receive the fullness of your grace and truth as they govern and lead this great city with humility and strength. We pray all these things and many more in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend. Council, if we all can stand, I hope you all can see the flag over my left shoulder. If we can all stand, please. And at this time, we'd like to call on Councilman Day to lead us with the pledge. Councilman Day.
Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Day. Thank you, Reverend Platt, for that prayer. And as you stated, we pray that we stay strong-minded for the right reason. So with that, now at this time, Council, I would like to ask for a motion to appoint Shannon Davis as the acting city clerk. May I have a motion to approve that request?
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Day. May I have a second? Second, Mr. Gordon?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Call for the vote.
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lowe?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now proceeding on, Council, on presentations. We do not have any proclamation, but at this time, I would like to call on our city manager, Mr. Wallace Hunter, as well as our HR director, Human Resource Director, Stephanie Chastain. This is something that has been started, and as we've all said, and I know I'm being redundant, we can't say thank you enough, particularly in today's environment. So this is a great venue that we do to give thanks to the people who really, really get out there and really give it their all for our community. So with that, I'd like to call on the city manager as well as our HR director. Stephanie?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. As the mayor stated, this is a highlight. It's been done a little bit different over the last few months, doing this over the Zoom platform. I guess if I could say, let's put a positive spin on things. I think some employees actually may like this better, doing it this way. So it's time for us to catch up with our engineering public works employees that have had their service anniversaries over the last few months. So we'll get started. First, we have Jimmy Cook, who has 5 years of service. And I see him on there on Miss Angel's screen. So
All right.
congratulations, Jimmy. If you'd like to say a few words, you're more than welcome to.
Just thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, we thank you and we appreciate you also. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
All right. Also with 5 years of service, we have Brandon Mathis. There he
Hey,
is.
Brandon.
How you doing?
Congratulations, Brandon.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, hold it up. Be proud of it. Thank
There
you
you
so
go,
much.
I appreciate the time. Give me the chance to work here for you.
Well, we hope you have many, many more.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Also with 5 years of service, we have Damon McGilberry. Hey, Damon, how are you?
All
How
right,
you doing,
man.
man?
Congratulations on getting your 5 years. It seems like we just hired you yesterday. Time has flown by.
Yeah, time has flown by. Yeah, and I appreciate it. I really do. Everything y'all done for me. I appreciate it.
Well, we thank you, and
Thank
you got 25 more to go.
Yeah, I know it, Mr. Lowe. I've been waiting on this though a long time. I want to put this in my living room. I was
Well,
wanting to do so long.
Hey, you reached you made it the first quarter, so now you got 3 more,
Okay.
and you can do it.
I
Thanks.
can do it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Damon.
Thank y'all.
Damon.
Yes, sir.
All right.
With 10 years, we have Jason Arnold.
Hello.
Hey, Jason. Congratulations
good
on
morning.
hitting 10 years.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you'd like to say a few words, you're more than welcome to.
Well, I appreciate it. It's been an honor working here.
Well, we appreciate you also. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Jason.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a good one.
Y'all too.
Yes, sir.
All right. Also with 10 years, we have Kathy Jo Davis.
I remember her.
All right, Kathy Jo.
Morning.
Good morning. Congratulations
Good
on
morning.
hitting 10 years, Kathy Jo. If you'd
You
like
got
to
to say something now.
you're welcome to.
You are so welcome.
I'm good.
Thank you so much, Kathy Jo, for everything you do.
Perfect.
All right. With 15 years, we have Angel Moore. Congratulations, Angel, for hitting your 15 years.
All right, congratulations, Angel.
Thank you.
I remember her.
You do, Mr. Day.
He's got her own website.
And believe me, they remember you too,
Oh,
I just want to say thank you to Mr. Hunter and to all the council and all the department heads, and especially my staff. They make it easy for me, and I will continue on as usual. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
All right. Also, 15 years, we have Adam Tilley.
I'm chilly.
Hey, Adam. Congratulations on hitting your 15-year mark. If you'd like to say a few words, we welcome you to.
I would just like to say thank you to council and the city manager, and most importantly, my boss, Angel Moore. I look forward to another 15 on top of this.
There you go. I like that.
Good, good. Thank you, sir.
You can suck it up now. It's down here now. Hayes in the barn.
That's right.
Thanks,
Thank
Adam.
you so much.
Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, we have our big one. We have Leroy Williams, who's gotten his 25 years of service. And Leroy will actually be retiring with us at the end of this month. So
How about that? Woo.
we're going to hate to see him go, but wish him all the best. So there he is. So congratulations, Leroy, on your service and your upcoming retirement. So if you'd like to say a few words, we welcome you to.
I remember Leroy. We're not going to let you go, Leroy.
I'd like to thank y'all for working with y'all and being around y'all, been good to me. And I put all I could into the city. I put a lot of work into it, night and day. still hanging in to my last day.
It's good.
But I appreciate y'all.
We thank you, and you reached a milestone of 25 years, and we just appreciate you putting your time in and for sucking it up. And you know, most of the times we want to come to work there. Sometimes we don't, but we appreciate you pushing that through that and begin your 25 years in for all your years of service. We really appreciate you. And congratulations on your retirement.
Yes, sir. And I'd like to thank the city manager, Walter Hunter, for giving me the leadway, giving me some experience, helping me through all the situations I've been through. Also, my boss, Angel Mo, been by my side ever since I've been working with her. We've been good together, and I respect my authority. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Leroy.
Thank you, Leroy.
Congratulations to you. Enjoy your
Leroy.
retirement.
Hey, Leroy, Mayor, can I say something? I want the council probably knows this, but you talk about somebody who's going to be hard to replace. This is the one that every time that there was a tornado, a hurricane, or any bad weather at 3 o'clock in the morning, Leroy was the first person I come across every single time with a chainsaw in his hand. He was really going to be missed. Never have I ever had an employee in another department that I depended on more than I have of Leroy for my career, for sure. Thank you, Leroy.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Leroy. Congratulations. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Miss Angel, I just want to make sure Bobby Morgan and Matthew Wilson aren't there, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, yep. So they also had, Bobby Morgan had 5 years of service and Matthew Wilson 10 years of service. So, you know, we thank them as well. They just weren't able to join us this morning. So,
Tell them we said thank you so much, Angel. And
Yes, sir. I certainly will.
Yeah, man. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Stephanie.
thank you.
Okay, council, at this time, proceeding on the city clerk. At this time, council, I'd like to ask for a motion for the approval of the regular scheduled meeting minutes for October the 5th work session, as well as October the 6th council meeting. And since we were all present, I would like to ask that we do this in one vote. Okay?
Okay.
So with that, council, I'd like to ask for a motion for the approval of the October the 5th work session, as well as the October the 6th council meeting. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to
That's a
approve.
motion by Ms. Johnson, motion. May I have a second? Did we get a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Davis, I'd like to call for the vote at this time.
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, council, proceeding on the city council on the unfinished business. Are there any unfinished business at this time? Okay. There seems to be none. We will proceed with under the resolution and under administration. We have a resolution number 2020-266 to be ratified in reference to authorizing and directing the mayor and the city manager to enter into an agreement to hold TUC Construction Incorporation harmless in connection with the installation for the 24-inch sewer line connecting to a 30-inch line crossing Opelika Bridge. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the Utilities Department of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, contracted with AlDOT to replace the Opelika Road Bridge and relocate the utility lines. And whereas the city misidentified the size of the sewer line crossing Opelika Road at the bridge site. And whereas the city wishes to hold TUC Construction, Inc. harmless for any liability that could occur to the 24-inch sewer line connecting on each end to the existing 30-inch line. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama hereby authorize the mayor and city manager to sign a release agreement to hold TUC Construction, Inc. harmless in connection with the installation for the 24-inch sewer line connecting to a 30-inch line crossing Opelika Road Bridge. Passed, approved, and adopted this 14th day of October 2020, ratified this 20th day of October 2020.
Okay, council, we've heard the resolution, but however, at this time, I would like to ask for a motion to table due to some information that our department has discovered that there are some things that hadn't been done quite right. And at this time, due to that, I will ask for a motion that we table this due to those circumstances. May I have a motion to table?
Motion to table.
All right, motion by Mr. Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Gordon. Okay, we got the motion in the second. Mrs. Davis.
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes, and before we proceed on, one thing I did forget, our city managers are having difficulties getting on on this call, but he will be joining us. Hopefully, he's having some technical difficulties, but I did forget to mention that. And also at this time, I know we've taken the vote, but I would like to call on Steve Smith to explain why we did table this and ask for a motion to table. Mr. Smith?
Just to get some background, when we put our GIS system in a dozen years or so ago, our consultant misidentified the size of the line that comes down here. It's a 30-inch line, and it was put into our GIS system as a 24-inch line. When we then contracted with AlDOT to replace a section of that 30-inch line, it was identified as a 24, and the contractor installed a 24-inch line. The 30-inch line is still in place. We actually have more capacity than we otherwise would have. The reason we were moving the line is because the 30-inch line is very close to the new bridge that's being put in, and it'd be difficult to get to it and repair it. And so we wanted to move it further to the east. But we're going to leave that 30-inch line in place. It's still there. It's still operating fully. And then the 24-inch will actually give us additional capacity. We are having some difficulties with the contractor in terms of the new 24-inch line that he has installed not meeting the specifications. And so that's the reason we've asked to table this line until we can, we did a video inspection of the line last week. It was not to specifications. Just found out yesterday that the repairs that he had made still did not bring the line into specifications. We re-videoed it yesterday. So we've asked to table this until we can get these issues resolved and move forward with this contractor. But I'd like to emphasize again that even though a mistake was made, and we did make a mistake here, that that's not an issue with the flow. We actually have more ability to accept flow here in growth than we would have otherwise.
Even if the other line failed, we still have the 24-inch line in place. Is that right?
Yes, sir. They'll both be in place parallel to each other.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
And Council, are there any other comments or discussion on this? I know I kind of went reverse as far as not allowing have the comments or discussion before, but I wanted Mr. Smith to explain it to all of us due to the fact on yesterday we had prepared to take action on it. But I know I did it in reverse because, again, I wanted to make sure we got the approval of the table and then get Mr. Smith to speak. So with that, are there any other comments from any other council member?
Yeah, I'd just like to say something, Mayor, if I can. I appreciate Mr. Smith, the utility department, our engineer department staying on top of something like this, because this particular resolution would release that company from having any, future ways of making them repair something that, possibly, could fail. But if we do our job diligently, as they are at this point in time, to make sure that it's done correctly, then I, see no problem with, letting them, I'm not going to say off the hook, because it would have to fail for them to be off the hook. I don't think that'll happen anyway. But I appreciate them staying on top of this, because this particular agreement, could make everything fall back and die a lap. So I applaud Mr. Smith and all of them staying on top of this to make sure that this is done correctly to begin with. All the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted, to where we can make sure that this agreement, is fine to do in the future. So thank you, Mr. Smith, for y'all staying on top of that, making sure that this company does what they're supposed to do. And I'm sure this company will do that. There's no question in my mind about that.
Yeah, I'm sure that we can work this out. And I appreciate your comment, Mr. Bailey. We just wanted the public to understand that there's not going to be an issue here. There is more capacity than there would have been otherwise here. There's not going to be any restriction at this point.
Mr. Smith, sir, I'd like to ask a question. When did we discover this? Or this had been it was done that way a long time, many years ago, not recently. What I'm saying under this administration.
Yeah, it was it was just misidentified when the original GIS system was put in place as a 30-inch, and the employee that should have gone out and verified this didn't do it properly. And I mean, we made a mistake. We need to admit to it, but it's not good. It's actually going to, with the solution that we've come up now, we'll actually have more capacity and more flow through there than we otherwise would have.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other council? All right. So we've already taken action on it, but I did wanted to do it in reverse so we can get a table, as I stated, and then get Mr. Smith to explain it and then open it up for the council. Thank you all so much for that. So we're going to proceed on the resolution on the administration. We have a resolution in reference to accepting the dedication of any land, right-of-ways, or easement dedicated by the final plat of Ladonia Commercial located in Section 13, Township 17 North, Range 29 East, Phenix City, Russell County, Alabama, Gerard Partners LP owners. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the Phenix City Planning Commission has determined that it is in the best interest of the city to accept the dedication of any land, right-of-ways, or easements dedicated by the final plat of Ladonia Commercial located in Section 13, Township 17 North, Range 29 East, Phenix City, Russell County, Alabama, dated October 7, 2020, prepared by Sheen L. McLean, Registered Land Surveyor. And whereas the owner of said property, Gerard Partners LP, desires to dedicate the same to the city of Phenix City. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, does hereby accept the dedication of any land, right-of-ways, and easements as shown on the above referenced final plat. Passed, approved, and adopted this 20th day of October, 2020.
Thank you so much, Ms. Davis. Council, all of us have heard the resolution. At this time, I would like to ask for a motion for approval. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Day. May I have a second, Council?
Second.
Second, Mr. Gordy. Any comments or discussion? Okay.
Mayor, I just one quick comment on this commercial development. Of course, it's been a long time coming. It's going to boost that area in a great way, and I know our citizens will be very pleased when this commercial development has been completed. We've already cited at least 4 types of business industries that will come there, and it's just going to be a great thing for the citizens and all of us who travel down 80. So I'm just pleased, and I hope our citizens are too, which I know they will be, to finally see that commercial development come to fruition. So I want to thank the engineering department, Mr. Hunter, and economic development for citing such an industry and boosting our economy here in Phenix City. So thank you for the great job that you have done.
Okay. All right. At this time, Council, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lowe?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And also proceeding on the administration, we have a resolution in reference to filing an application with ALDOT for funding assistance from the Alabama Transportation Rehabilitation and Improvement Program -2, also known as A-TRIP-2, for street lights and fiber installation upgrades along US Highway 280 from South Railroad Street to US 431 South. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the city of Phenix City is committed to rehabilitating and improving local transportation infrastructure for its citizens. And whereas the city of Phenix City is committed to addressing critical needs in our transportation system, such as safety, connectivity, and economic impact. And whereas evidenced by that commitment, the city wishes to make application to the Alabama Department of Transportation for funding assistance from the Alabama Transportation Rehabilitation and Improvement Program -2 for street lighting and fiber installation upgrades along US Highway 280 from South Railroad Street to US 431 South. And whereas the engineering department, along with the Alabama Department of Transportation Traffic Design Division, has developed a preliminary scope of work and cost, which is estimated to be $1,845,650. And whereas if the grant application is approved, the project will be funded 100% with state funds. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City is hereby authorized and filing of said application, including all understandings and assurances contained therein, and directs and authorizes its mayor and city manager to act in connection with the application and to provide such additional information to ALDOT as may be required. Passed, approved, and adopted this 20th day of October 2020.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Davis. Council, all of us have heard the resolution. I would at this time like to ask for a motion for the approval of that resolution. May I have a motion?
Motion to
Motion, Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Johnson?
Yes,
That was
yes,
the motion. Was that a second
yes.
today?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey, who did I hear?
Yes.
Second, Mr. Bailey. Okay, we have the motion and second. Council, any comments or discussion?
Yes, Mayor, we noticed this is Department of Transportation. As a matter of fact, that's their highway. And once they do this, and if the application get approved, this will be huge for our community here for the city of Phoenix City. And one of the things that I like, I'm looking at, they will be 100% funded by the state. And that's huge. At $1,845,650. That's huge. And I hope it goes through. I hope that application go through for that grant. I really do.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Day. Any other comments? If not, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
And now on the Engineer and Public Works Department, we have a resolution in reference to awarding the bid to Ferguson Water Works for HDPE drainage pipe. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama has solicited sealed bids for HDPE drainage pipe as required under the Alabama bid law. And whereas it was determined that Ferguson Water Works provided the best bid due to proximity to the city and delivery time. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, accepts this bid from Ferguson Water Works located in Columbus, Georgia. Passed, approved, and adopted this 20th day of October 2020.
Thank you, Mrs. Davis. Council, we've heard the resolution. This time I'd like to ask for a motion for approval. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Motion, Mr. Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Bailey. Any comments or discussion, council? Okay, if not, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now, council, proceeding on the Engineering and Public Works Department. We have a resolution in reference to authorizing the mayor and the city manager to enter into an agreement with Wright Engineering LLC to provide structural repairs and reconstruction to the Riverwalk's elevated wood boardwalk in an amount not to exceed $10,000. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the City of Phoenix City has determined that due to age and decomposition, structural repairs and reconstruction of the elevated wooden portion of the Riverwalk needs to be performed. And whereas Wright Engineering LLC has provided a proposal to perform inspection services for said portion of the Riverwalk in an amount not to exceed $10,000. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama does hereby authorize the mayor and city manager to enter into an agreement with Wright Engineering LLC to provide the above mentioned services in an amount not to exceed $10,000. Passed, approved, and adopted this 20th day of October, 2020.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Davis. Council, we've heard the resolution. May I have a motion for approval, please?
Motion to approve.
Motion, Mr. Gordy. May I have a second,
Second.
Council? Second, Mrs. Johnson.
Second.
Yes. We have that, Ms. Davis. Motion, Mr. Gordy, and second, Mrs. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Council, any comments or discussion?
Yes, Mayor, as you know, that is a high dollar item. We discussed that on our last meeting, and this part was not included in the total price in our last meeting, if I remember correctly. This is an additional $10,000 necessary to do this for that project. Can we get Angels, somebody to elaborate on that for us while we going? It's very important that we go this route as well.
Yes, sir. This is for the project for the timber bridge on the Riverwalk. And the way that the projects flow and why we have to have so many different resolutions is you have a preliminary engineering design phase. So that would be a separate resolution. Then you have to put the project out to construction bid. And that's what we did at the last meeting. That was for the actual construction of the project. And this right here is the third part of the project. It's the construction, engineering, and inspection services. So this is why this is an additional resolution for that project. We had the pre-construction meeting, and based off of that, we were able to get the proposal from Wright Engineering, who did the design work for us, and they have more expertise in looking at the structural members. And we want to make sure that we get the safest structure that we can. So that's why we felt it important that we have this additional inspection services.
Now, Angel, let me ask you this. You were saying that, and I understand we have to have this portion here. There'll be another additional portion coming up, finance coming up?
No, sir, not unless that for some reason unforeseen change order or anything like this, but
Okay.
this is the inspection services portion.
Okay. All right. Thank you, man.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Moore. Any other comments or discussion, Council? If not, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
And now, Council, proceeding on the Utilities Department. We do have a resolution in reference to purchase of one 2020 Caterpillar 420 backhoe from Thompson Cat in an amount not to exceed $99,811.71. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the City of Phoenix City Utility Department desires to purchase one 2020 Caterpillar 420 backhoe. And whereas state purchasing law allows cities to use state bidding. And whereas Thomas Cat has provided a quote for a 2020 Caterpillar 420 backhoe in the amount of $99,811.71. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama hereby authorizes the Utility Department to purchase one 2020 Caterpillar 420 backhoe from Thompson Cat with the following included: cab with AC, four-wheel drive, 1.4 cubic yard general purpose loader bucket, standard stick, ride control, fork brackets, and rotating beacon in an amount not to exceed $99,811.71. Passed, approved, and adopted this 20th day of October, 2020.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Davis. And Council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, I would like to ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve.
Motion, Mr. Gordy, and was that a second, Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Okay, so we have that, Mrs. Davis.
Yes,
Motion
sir.
by Mr. Gordy and second by Mr. Bailey. Council, at this time, are there any comments or discussion? Okay, if not, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And also, Council, on the Utilities Department, We do have a resolution in reference to purchase of one John Deere 5100E utility tractor from SunSouth LLC in an amount not to exceed $57,287.33. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the City of Phoenix City Utility Department desires to purchase one John Deere 5100E utility tractor. And whereas state purchasing law allows cities to use state bidding. And whereas SunSouth LLC has provided a quote for a John Deere 5100E utility tractor in the amount of $57,287.33. Selling price, $41,987.33. Equipped with Brown 684 HD cutter in the amount of $7,100. DR cage in the amount of $8,200. Total cost being $57,287.33. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama hereby authorizes the Utilities Department to purchase one 2020 John Deere 5100E utility tractor from SunSouth LLC in an amount not to exceed $57,287.33. Passed, approved, and adopted this 20th day of October 2020.
Thank you so much, Ms. Davis. Council, each of us have heard the reading of this resolution at this time. I would like to ask for a motion for approval, please. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Day. May I have a second? May I have a second? Second, Ms. Johnson. Okay, we have the motion and the second. Are there any comments or discussion, Council?
Yes, Mayor, let me ask this question to Mr. Smith. This is a budget. I don't know. We rent this to purchase later on, or are we buying this straight out?
Yes, these are both budget items, the backhoe and the tractor. We will purchase this as our normal procedure with big equipment over on a 5-year lease purchase basis.
Okay.
And this is our normal procedure that we buy, large, heavy equipment. We normally do these on 5-year lease purchases to spread the cost out over that period.
Okay, good. Now, one other question, Mr. Smith. I know these are expensive equipment and machinery. Those folks that operate these particular tractor stuff, they have to have special license, a special training, of course. Is that right?
Well, not special licensing, but they do require special training, and and we make sure that the only qualified, experienced, capable operators are on these. It's obviously a safety factor.
Yeah.
It's a big, heavy equipment, and you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Council, are there any comments or discussion? All right. At this time, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis.
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lowe.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Council. Proceeding on the Board Appointments Council, under the Improvement District Brickyard Project, we do have one opening. And at this time, Council, I would like to open it up for any nomination. At this time, do we have any nominations?
Mayor, at this time, I'd like to appoint Bobby Crowe.
Crow.
Bobby
Crowe.
Crowe.
Bobby Crowe. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Do we have any others? If not, I am declaring this nomination closed. And at this time, Council, I would like to ask for a motion for the approval of the Brickyard Project, appointing Mr. Bobby Crowe. May I have a motion for that approval, please?
Motion to approve.
All right, motion by Mr. Gordy. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Bailey. Okay. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lowe.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on the license application. Council, this is the first reading. At this time, I'd like to say that there's an application for an off-premise beer license and off-premise wine license submitted by Harry Hare LLC doing business as Sonico Food Market located at 3858 C Highway 80 West, Phenix City, Alabama. This is a first reading, council, and at this time I would like to call upon our clerk for this first reading, Mrs. Davis.
I have 3 memos that I would like to read. The first coming from the Chief of Police, Raymond Smith, in reference to Harekashan G. Patel, Harry Hare LLC, doing business as Sonico Food Market, located at 3858 C Highway 80 West, Phoenix City, Alabama, 36870. I have received these applications for off-premise beer, off-premise wine licenses, and I have no objection to the issuance of these licenses to the applicant based upon his criminal background investigation. Sincerely, Raymond J. Smith. Second letter coming from the fire department. This letter is in reference to the application submitted by Harekashan G. Patel for Harry Hare LLC, doing business as Sonico Food Market. This business located at 3858 C Highway 80 West in Phenix City, Alabama, 36870. The application is for off-premise beer and off-premise wine licenses. A follow-up inspection was conducted on August 31st, 2020 to see if all life safety and fire code violations have been corrected. This business was observed as having all life safety and fire code problems corrected for this occupancy. Sincerely, Fire Marshal Wells. Third memo coming from the building department. This letter is in reference to the application submitted by Harekashan G. Patel of Harry Hare LLC, doing business as Sonico Food Market, located at 3858 C Highway 80 West, for off-premise beer and off-premise wine licenses. This facility meets the building code requirements. This office has no objections to the approval of these licenses. Sincerely, Ray Rogers, building official.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Davis. Council, we have heard of the first reading. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to place on first reading. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to place on first reading.
All right, motion by Mr. Day. May I have a second, council?
I second that, Mayor.
All right, second by Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lowe.
Yes.
Thank you.
Proceeding on, council, on the second reading, do we have an application for a bonding company license submitted by Amber Brooke Milner for Queen Bee Bear Bonds located at 9063 Lee Road 246, Suite 1, Smith Station, Alabama. The first reading was held on the 6th of this month. We will not ask the clerk to reread this. However, council, I will ask for a motion to deny due to some of the circumstances that was not approved by department head, which is our chief of police. So with that being said, at this time, I'd like to call for a motion to deny.
Motion to deny.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Gordon. May I have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second by Mr. Bailey. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lowe.
Yes.
Thank you.
And also, council, proceeding on the second reading, we have an application for an off-premise whiskey and wine license submitted by Harry Hare LLC, doing business as Big Cat Package located at 3858D Highway 80 West, Phoenix City, Alabama. The first reading was on the 6th of this month. We're not asked the clerk to reread it. However, I will ask for a motion to approve, council. So with that, may I have a motion to approve, please?
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Day. May I have a second, council?
Second.
Second, Mr. Gordon. Okay, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lowe.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on now, council. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our city attorney, Mr. Jimmy Graham. Mr. Graham?
Yes, Mayor. Mayor and council, we have one claim on the agenda today. That is Demetrius Weaver. Mr. Weaver had a city vehicle with a trailer attached to it back into his vehicle on 10/7/20 at Circle K 1800 Stadium Drive. The damage claimed was his front bumper. We talked about the police report yesterday and the memorandum from our department head. We were at fault in this wreck. And he submitted 3 claims as required. The lowest being 1138.63. I recommend approval of this claim in that amount.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. Council, we've heard our attorney recommendation. At this time, I would like to ask for a motion to approve that recommendation. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, that's motion by Mr. Day.
Yes.
And I heard someone else shortly after
Bailey.
that, Mr. Bailey.
Yeah, on the
Okay.
second.
So we have the motion and the second. The motion by Mr. Day, second by Mr. Bailey. Okay, have that, Mrs. Davis?
Yes, sir.
All right, like to call for the vote, Mrs. Davis.
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Thank you, council. At this time, I'd like to ask if there's anything any of the council members would like to say, add, to take away.
Yes, Mayor. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Hunter, our city manager, for the 35 years of public service here. As we know, he spent many years as fire chief and then city manager, a total of 35 years of public service. As you know, he was also mentioned in the Public Management magazine, and we want to congratulate him for that, a job well done. And thank you, Mr. Hunter, for all you do and your staff. One other thing that very close to my heart, Mayor. When I think about it, I sort of tear up a little bit. I think about this month here is Breast Cancer Month, and I think about my second only sister. When she had breast cancer, it's sort of get to me when I think about what happened. And I'd like to say to all the women and ladies and young ladies out there, continue to campaign for that disease. This is something that we have no control over, but I understand they still working, trying to conquer and do some type of serum to eliminate this disease. The only thing we can do is continue to pray and try to do the best we can. And one other thing, my last thing is this, Mr. Mayor, this. As I was sitting there and listening to the news on, I think it was last week, they did a special segment about Mr. Roy Green. And I sat there and listened, I read the paper, and I said, my God, that man was very important here to this entire community. He was involved in a lot of stuff, and he was a great leader. But yet and still, he was low key. He was armor in what he was doing. And I tell you what, this community gonna miss Mr. Roy Green, and he done a tremendous segue here in Phenix City. I think about some of the things, and one of the things, I had the opportunity to meet him. And looking at him, talking to him, you will never know that he had all these things that he have accomplished through his life. He just a down-to-earth person. And my sympathy go out to the whole Green family. Thank you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to meet him. As I went over to the business one day, and we spoke with him and his daughter, and I cannot say enough about that particular individual. Okay, Mel. One other thing, as you know, as I looked at all these folks that was, all these people that I think I have my notes here, all these folks that anniversary date, as I looked at the number of years, a total of what, about 120 years total for all those folks. If you add them up, be about 120 years. And we want to say to all those employees, we want to thank you for all those years of service and continue here in Phenix City. As it's been said, Phenix City has a great retirement package. And, we are blessed to have dedicated employees. And one of the employees that I like to say this about one of your employees, Mr. Leroy Williams. And I had met him on numerous occasions out there in the community doing his work. He have a nice positive attitude, as the chief already stated, that he'll be the hard one. He'll be a person hard to replace because of his attitude. You know, he don't mind getting out there and helping, and he have a very positive and a nice attitude. Mayor, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Day. And any other comments? Councilman?
Mayor, if I might just one short comment. I didn't get a chance to see a whole lot of Mr. Leroy being new to the council, but I did hear about him. And for all of our city employees, I would like to personally say congratulations on 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, whatever your year was, congratulations. And we are very pleased and to know that we got employees that care about their community and work very hard to make sure the job is done correctly. So congratulations on your anniversary date, and to Mr. Leroy, we wish you well in your future endeavors as you leave one of the best companies to work for in America. And also, I would like to just thank Reverend James A. Platt for accepting the invitation to come to our invocation this morning. It is it's so good to know that we have different ministries and ministers out there that want to be a part of our community meetings as well. So thank you for accepting the invitation, and we wish you well in your congregation.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Mayor, if I can, it looks like it's open mic moment on this Zoom here, so I want to say something too. I want to thank everybody in our city that has worked so hard during this pandemic, all our department heads, especially Sean and them down there in economic development. Hadn't been a lot of economic development going on, but Sean and them are still working hard at it each and every day. The citizens of this town can look forward. We have things coming. Some of them just been slowed down a little bit because of this pandemic, but our city is not struggling because of it. Our revenue is actually up a little bit due to a lot of people having to eat out, a lot of people having to shop at the smaller places. And luckily, Phenix City, we have a lot of those places available in each part of the town for our citizens to shop at. So again, thank you to all the people at the city, all of our citizens at the city for understanding that we have issues that go on day to day. We try to fix things as fast as we can. We get on top of them. We stay on top of them. We haven't shut down any of our city services, and we haven't cut back on any of our city employees. So when we have water main breaks and things of that nature, we have a full crew out there working to get it done as fast as we can. And the citizens need to understand how hard that is for our city manager and department heads to make sure that that happens. Because you can only imagine how long it would take if we didn't have a full crew out there working on something. So we're very, very blessed that this economic slowdown has not totally crippled us like it has other places in the United States. And I want all the citizens to remember, this is not over. This hadn't gone away. Continue to do your part that is required by the state, the federal government, and just your own self, using your own conscience of staying 6 feet apart. Wear your mask if you want to. You know, do what you're supposed to there. Wash your hands. Keep yourself clean. Respect others' distances. And let's try to get this thing curbed, and let's try to slow it down, because we do have winter coming up where doors are going to be closed, windows are going to be closed, and people are going to be more inside closer to each other than we've been all summer and all spring and all fall. So keep everybody in your prayers, keep our nation in your prayers, and just continue to do our part. And our city will keep thriving during this pandemic.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon, anything you want to say? Oh, okay. At this time, Mr. Hunter, City Manager.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. Just want to say congratulations to all the service awards that went out to our personnel, and thank you all for the job that you're all doing. While we are facing this, there's several things that, you know, we have to take a look at that we are dealing with. And a lot of times, a lot of lessons that we have to teach one another. We all have something in common, and that's to achieve success here in this city and make sure our city is successful. Some of the things that we go through a lot that we try to explain to the public, you know, that's whether you're appointed or elected to an office. We all face a lot of ethical things in the field out here that when we have to deal with our public. And the main things we have to deal with when we're looking at dilemmas are looking at the law, the rules, the integrity, appearance, clear thinking, and the perspective. You know, when it comes to the law, you got to always ask yourself, is it legal? And does it meet the spirit of the law? When it comes to the rules, you know, you can look into yourself and say, am I violating or breaking any rule, you know, policy that everyone else must follow? You know, to integrity, am I breaking my word, trust, promise, or values? You know, looking at the appearance, do it appear that you have a conflict? You have to stop and have clear thinking, you know, is my emotions causing me bias or clouding my judgment on this particular thing? And the perspective is to look back on the situation. Will you be proud of your conduct, or will you be able to honor and say, I had my finest hours, or am I going to regret what I'm doing in making these decisions? So that's why it's important for us to work together as a team and take a look at what we are doing and trying to promote, you know, togetherness within this city. Some of the things that concern me and taking a look, hopefully people will look out for one another. If you see something happening around your neighbor's house, or call the police, don't try to confront it yourself because it's dangerous. And we're in the midst of a lot of things that's going on in Columbus, Georgia. A lot of that is flowing over into Phenix City. So just be on the lookout for things that's going on in the day-to-day operation that we have to carry out when we're dealing with people and trying to get them to understand what our work is all about, to make this a better place, because we've been blessed around here and we're fortunate. A lot of people are going through hard times. You know, by the time this pandemic is over, we're going to take a look around, and it's going to be a lot of people that was here at the beginning of the year that's not here now. It's caused a lot of problems. It's hurt a lot of people and families, you know, and all we can do is try to stick together and try to pray together. So that's all I have to say at this time, and thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Hunter, and thanks to the council. We certainly appreciate you all. As I told you all yesterday, I couldn't be any prouder of this team, and also the team of all the department head and all of your people. We just truly thank you all, and let's just always remember that, you know, we are blessed. In order for that to continue, the momentum is that we have to be the right person or the right persons, individually as well as collectively. So we certainly thank you all so much. I also like to thank CTV Beam for bringing this to our public, and may God continue to bless all of us, and let's continue to strive to make our community and our city the best it can be. Thanks to all of you all, and we do stand adjourned. Thank you all.